Welcome back. I'm Carl. I'm here to talk about micromanagers, the plain and simple title. And the question may come up, what is a micromanager? What planet have you been living on? What universe did you come from? What galaxy did you get blasted out of if you never heard of what the hell a micromanager is? The book definition will probably tell you is somebody within the supervisory or teaching chain that presents information in a direct manner that constantly engages with the participant without allowing them to do their fucking job. The Carl definition is the omnipresent asshole that always hangs over you when you're trying to work, telling you something usually stupid what to do. So we now that we got that out the way, let me explain the different types of micromanagers that you may run into. You run into the ones, and this is most of them, is the passionate micromanagers. There's a particular field or doctrine that they believe in so much that they're passionate about that they're willing to push everybody in that direction, meaning like if they're into, let's say, digging ditches and they see that you turning the shovel the wrong way, they're going to be like, look, damn it, the shovel needs to be at a 45-degree angle when you lift it and throw it over your shoulder. Some of that may be the exact way that you need to do it, and some other ways that you do it might be actually quicker than 45 degrees. Well, maybe I'll turn the damn thing 40 degrees and I can do it 3 minutes faster than what the hell you're telling me. But because the person has done it a certain way for a long time and they haven't seen anything change and they're used to what they're seeing, you're not doing it per se wrong, but you're not doing it the way they like it. So usually the passionate ones are always going to complain about something, and then when changes happen, well, we never did that like 50 years ago and so forth. Those are the ones that's like passionate about whatever they're doing. Then you got the show off ones, the show off micromanagers. Those are the ones that it's like, when the big boss is in town or when the client is here, I'm going to sit over there and show my ass to everybody out here that I'm telling these people what to do and keeping everybody in fucking line. So it's like you'll have those types that would always, only show up once in a blue moon. They're like Haley's Comet. It's like, oh, let's come outside and see what the hell is going on. And I'm going to show everybody, what my true ass looks like. And maybe, I'll get a promotion out of the deal, or maybe I'll make that client look like, oh, yeah, he's such a go getter and he's such that, individual that's going to knock this shit out of the park or whatever. Those types of people, and yes, there's going to be a lot of cursing on this video and so forth because I hate micromanagers. We all hate them, but some people need to be micromanaged. The ones that don't want to do anything, but then there's people that do certain jobs that it's like you don't need any managing, much less micromanaging. So if it's something that you know how to do and you're very good at what you do, but person X or person Y doesn't like the way you do it, but yet you're like one of the most highly productive people out there, what is their complaint? It's almost like they have to be that thorn in that rose every time you touch it. They have to be that one asshole that, you're driving up the street and they got to cut you off no matter what you do. And they could be making a turn at the very next street. They could have waited for you to pass that street, but they'll go 90 miles an hour just so they can make that turn. It's almost like, yeah, my car is faster than yours. Fuck you, It's one of those types of deals. So, is there any good micromanagers? It can be when you're talking about safety, just to keep it real. if you operate in heavy equipment or you operate in something that could possibly kill you or the entire folks at a job site or a project site or something like that, you probably going to have to be expected to be micromanaged a lot more than other jobs. We all get that. When it comes to financial transactions and something where it's like you don't want to accidentally hit the button that may send out refunds of like $500,000 to each client and stuff like that, they might want to have processes in place and kind of micromanage that operation to make sure money doesn't go out. You're trying to save somebody's life, and you may be 10 people around you to make sure that you're operating right or tending to a person correctly and so forth, that you're not further injuring the person or putting them next to St. Peter's door or St. Gabriel's door, whichever angel that lets you in. Yeah, I'm very astute when it comes to religion, so yeah, I'm the personal expert on that. But anyway, when it comes to certain jobs, some things you're going to be micromanaged on. There's times where it's like your job so well, it's like it's almost effortless to you. I know with me, a lot of people take my personality wrong because when I'm working on something, I'm just as calm. I'm in my own world. I'm doing my thing. And then all of a sudden, it's like, Carl, why are you doing blah, blah, blah? Because I finished him, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? It's like they try to engage with you with some stupid shit that to get a reaction out of you as opposed to seeing what you're doing. And then when they see how far you did, well, why didn't you tell me you did this much? I would have had such and such. It's like, I don't need to engage with you. See, that's why I don't work for corporate America. That's why I don't work for the government. That's why I work on my own. I work for Carl. I don't work for all of them. Because sometimes when you get engaged with your job, it's just you. You don't have to explain all the time what you're doing. If that's part of your job to explain, then that needs to be said up front. And once somebody's trained and you're sending them out there, leave them the fuck alone. Let them do their job. If it's not life threatening or something like that that's going to do a lot of damage financially or physically or fiduciary and so forth, let them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to have legal action that comes behind it, allow them to do their job. There's no reason to really micromanage somebody unless one, they show they can't be trusted, two, they done something before that forces you to micromanage them, and it goes back, what are you doing if you're micromanaging somebody? You see what I'm saying? You see how the chain works? If you're not doing your job and you watching somebody else, then that's two people that's not doing their job, or potentially one person not doing their job. You see what I'm saying? So micromanaging doesn't work for anybody. And it's one of those things where it's like, why don't you concentrate on your own stuff before you try to propagate your nonsense to somebody else? And another type of micromanager is the one that's like, oh, I'm going to show the boss that I'm on top of things. Like, they're not even in your management line at all. But I just gave you one example. It's like somebody is doing a job, or they go to lunch and they watching everybody's time and so forth. Oh, Carl took 31 minutes for lunch instead of 30 minutes. I don't think that's right. I think he's still in company time. How the fuck you know what time I went to lunch? You see what I'm saying? You have that much time to watch what I'm doing and you're not doing your job. Or just somebody that's not even in your department that always watches what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, Carla's been working on that Excel spreadsheet for like 3 hours now. What is he doing? Working? Um, duh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people get to a point where it's like you're gonna have to trust somebody that you hire. And if you can't trust somebody that you hire, or you're gonna always be omnipresent in front of somebody when they're working, then maybe you should do the shit by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you should just go ahead and not try to hire anybody to work with you. You know, there's people are adults. At least they should be adults. I mean, in this state of world that we live in, you get anything out there. So some people probably need to be micromanaged more than others. But if you have a person that's actively engaged in doing their work, why are you hovering over them? Why do you have to check them over and over again? Is your own self confidence that low that you got to sit over there and watch what somebody else is doing? Are you worried that they're going to sabotage the job or the mission, so to speak? You know, maybe that person would be a lot more productive if you got the hell out the way. Sometimes I have to tell people to fuck off because it's like, I got this. This is my job. You want me to do it or you don't. And if you don't, I will walk my ass right out that door without you even having to know that I'm ever there. You know what I'm saying? I won't F up the job, well, fuck up the job on purpose because it's not worth me doing that to you. You know, I'm not going to sabotage somebody's job because, you know, my reputation is probably bigger than yours as in terms of doing work. So why would I mess that up to spite you? You know, I mean, that's how the working world works. And I know everybody doesn't think that way. But micromanagers are some of the worst people out there because it's like they have all sorts of mental screw ups in their head, emotional things that goes on, undiagnosed disorders and stuff like that, and they swear to Christ that they're doing a great job. They may do a great job in their own silo, but when they come out of that silo, boy, I mean, they fuck up every other silo that's out there because it's like, you know, there's a time and place to step in. There's more than times and places to step out. And if you can't step out and you feel like you got to control that situation, maybe you don't need to be in that situation no more. And if you're being over micromanaged, maybe you don't need to be there anymore. And maybe you just need to separate from all of it like I have. So that's just something to think about. It's a semi funny video and semi, you know, relatable video. So let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. First time you ever heard me say that. So, all right, you guys take care. Until next time.